Hey everybody, welcome to the property rules of logs video. In this video, we're just going to go over all of the log properties or log rules. And then in the next video, there's going to be a ton of examples for how to use these things. But before we look at how to use them, first we have to understand, okay, well, what are the rules that we have to follow, or what are these properties? And this is what this is about. So there's three main rules of logs, and that's what we're going to cover today. So the first rule is the product rule, power rule, and quotient rule, and you'll find these very similar, if you think about it, to the rules of exponents, right? Why? Oh, because exponentials and logs are inverses of each other. So these rules will look slightly familiar. They're just going to kind of be the opposite. So we'll start off with product rule first. So here we go, product rule. Nope, I want a different color. I want white. There we go. So for product rule, let x and y be greater than 0 and a greater than 0 such that a is not 1, then all this is saying is log base a number greater than 0 and not 1 of x times y. Basically what we can do is we can take this x times y and we can split it into its sum. So products become sums. Okay, so take the product and split it. This will become log of x plus log of y. So let's practice this out. Okay, so log of 25, I can split that, right? 25 is the product of what two numbers, and you can use any two numbers that would be a product, but I'm going to pick the obvious two. So 25 splits into a product of 5 and 5, so I can split this into log of 5 plus log of 5. So product rule takes something and it splits it apart into a sum, or it takes a sum of logs and slams it together like a product. So this is going to be log of 18, right? No, it's a product. So this is going to be log of 6 times 12. So that's going to be log 72. That's good. This one, no. So when you combine the logs here, and all we're doing is we're going from this direction to this direction, so we can either split a product apart or we can combine a sum. That's exactly what this rule is saying. So split a product or combine a sum. Our next rule is the power property of logs. So let x be greater than 0, a be greater than 0, such that a is not 1, which is kind of like the same stipulations as last time. Let k be any real number. Then log base x to the k power equals k log base a to the x power. In other words, look at this, k just kind of came right down here in front. So that's what power rule says. Power rule says, hey, we can take this power and drop it right here in front. So according to power rule, this guy would end up being 1/3 ln of x. Now, why would you do that? It depends on what you're trying to do. These properties are not saying, hey, you have to always do this when you see something like this. No, it's just giving you an option. It's saying, hey, these things are possible, and you might want to use these possibilities to make whatever you're doing easier. So let these rules serve you in any way that they can. So the opposite, so instead of going left to right, now let's go right to left. If you have a coefficient down here in front of the log, we can also, according to this rule, put it up as an exponent. So this would be log of x to the 5th power. So it goes both ways. You can either take the exponent and drop it in front, or you can take the coefficient and put it up to an exponent. So power property of logs says we can move the exponent around. Our last property is the quotient property of logarithms. So kind of same setup. Let x and y be greater than 0 and a greater than 0 such that a is not 1. This is just making sure we don't have a base of a log that's 1. Then log base a of x divided by y. So remember when it was x times y, it split into a sum. Now it's x divided by y, it's going to split into a difference. Okay, so division and subtraction kind of always go together. So x divided by y splits into log of x minus log of y. Okay, so in other words, we can take these and we can literally split it at the fraction bar. It's like, okay, you go here, you go here. Okay, so you split it at the fraction bar and think like actual like fruit ninja, like we're going to split it off. So this will become log of 1 minus log of 2, and it's always numerator minus denominator. See, numerator minus denominator, so it's always top minus bottom. Okay, on the flip side of this is we can smush it together. So I can also take this and put it over here. So ln of 3 minus ln of 5. Remember, ln is a log. It's just log base e. We call it ln. So let's slam this thing together. So going in reverse, if I have log of something minus log of something, both with the same base, and the ln means they have the same base, then I can slam them together as being ln of first thing divided by second thing. So if it was 3 minus 5, then 3 goes in the numerator and 5 goes in the denominator. Okay? Oop, that one's done. So just a couple examples, very, very quick examples. We're going to look at a lot more of these examples and in a lot more depth in the next video. So if you want to see the next video right away, that's going to show a ton of examples, basically how to use all these properties, and we're going to complicate them up. But for now, it's good enough to know, hey, there's some properties of logs. That's what they are. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, please just ask, and I'll see you guys in the next video.